Today we are making homemade peach and blueberry pies. I grew up with my mother making some of the best pies I have ever had, so I guess I naturally enjoy good pies. And summertime, when the fresh fruit is in, is the best time to make it. In South Carolina, we get absolutely wonderful peaches, and we have fresh South Carolina blueberries today. This recipe is just a very simple recipe. I've used it forever. Flour, crystal salt, and ice water. I always use ice water. You first mix the Crisco into your flour. It'll be sort of grainy looking, and keep going until it's pretty well mixed in. You never want to put any water in until you have this mixture correct. As you can see, it sort of has a crumbly texture to it. And now I am going to start putting in my water. You do 1 tablespoon at a time. It's 1 tablespoon drizzle, and lightly mix it in. You never want to overmix it. I'm going to put the 2nd tablespoon of ice water. I'm going to lightly mix it. I'm going to put the 3rd tablespoon of ice water. At this point, I take my hand and finish mixing it until it forms a ball. So let's clean this. Let's put another tablespoon of ice water. And now let's mix it with our hand. At this point, I need at least 1 more tablespoon of water, which I'm going to add now. You just mix it until it forms a ball. There, but not quite. I think I am going to add 1 more tablespoon of water. And again, I stress 1 tablespoon at a time. You don't want to over water. So stick together. The more pies you make, the better you get at it. I've done more pies since I'm retired, and my pies have gotten better all the time. People ask for my peach pies in the summertime. And there we go, we have a ball. So be ready to roll out. sugar, etc. on my fruit, so the filling is ready for the pies. They both get a cup of sugar. I use tapioca to thicken my pies. So I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons in here. And I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons in my blueberry pie. Go into the pie crust. Now we have to roll the pie crust and get it into the pie pan. Okay, I put wax paper down. Put a little bit of flour. And you roll half of the crust at a time. Cut it in half. Okay, you have to put a piece of wax paper on top. And now you're ready to roll. You want to make it in a round circle, the best, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just that's sort of your guideline. And looks like I'm going to have to cut it a little bit and sort of adjust what I do. Just go like this and put this dough over here. Back to rolling. Don't have it ready yet. This will be the bottom crust. I prefer to use the deep dish pie pans. So now you're going to get the crust into the pie pan. Take the top, wax paper off, and then flip it over. Once you get it in the pie pan, you have to work with it a little bit and make sure that the pie pan is evenly covered. cut a piece off there and fill it in, and that's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just even. Make sure there aren't any bubbles in it. I'm going to trim this just a little bit. And I go ahead and put this little extra dough in with my top crust. Now we're going to put our blueberry mixture in. First, to make sure the sugar and tapioca are evenly distributed. Put it into your pie shell.
Half a minute.
2 pints of blueberries is what I used. With the sugar, tapioca, lemon juice, and you always dot a little bit of butter on the top of your pie. So just cut a few pieces here and just put them right here. My mother always did this. And as I said, she made some of the best pies you've ever tasted. Okay, now we'll set this aside and do the top crust. Top crust now again, wax paper, flour, dusted with flour. The oven is heating at 400 degrees. I bake my pies at...
Yeah.
I am preheating my oven at 400 degrees and I bake them for approximately 1 hour. And I always put a drip pan under my pie similar to this. As my mother always said, a good pie is always going to bubble over. So be prepared for the bubbles. Seems like a tad too much flour. And as I said before, the more you do this, the easier it becomes, because again, to me, the homemade crust is what makes the pie. And again, that is my opinion. And you're not going to do it every day, but for a special pie, there is nothing better. There was a friend coming over to eat pie, and I just extended an invitation to my nephew and wife to eat pie. And so we're going to have a little pie party this evening at our house. Again, I'm going to adjust this just a little bit to try to make it as circular as possible. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect. We will roll this side again. Okay, for the top crust, you score the top. I do about 6. Maybe 1 more. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tuck the dough down in the pan like that and crunch it a little bit. Over this side, I have a little too much dough, cut it off. My mother used to take the extra dough and put cinnamon sugar on it and bake it also. You want to make sure that it's sealed. Just work it with your fingers until you feel it's completely sealed. And then it's ready to go into the oven. This is our blueberry pie, and we're going to finish up the peach.
Good. Okay, I got a battery warning already. Go.
Okay, I have my second pie crust rolled, the bottom, and we have these wonderful fresh peaches, and I myself don't think anything's better than the fresh summer peach pies. It takes a little bit of time to peel the peaches, but the reward is worth it. I might put another couple on here. That isn't that full to me. 8 good-sized peaches, not little peaches. Okay, so now remember to put your butter over the top, and then you roll your top crust. Okay. Oh, well, I might as well put this on since it's just a dot, right? Okay. Let's put this aside, and I'm gonna. Okay, my top. Am I supposed to be talking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have my top crust ready, and you roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch, till you have a nice circle. It's sort of. I mean, you can sort of tell when it's ready. Put it, we already have our peaches in there. We're gonna put the top crust on, and then it's gonna bake 1 hour at 400 degrees. And you're gonna open the oven every once in a while once it gets started, and make sure that you have something under where it is bubbling over, because you do not want to have your oven completely a mess. Again, you cut off whatever's extra. And as you can tell, it's no perfection here. You just do it, put it together, put it in the oven, and you have delicious pie. And again, I said when you use these deep dish pie pans, it's so nice to get them in there, get it everything in. Fold it under a little bit and crunch it. Piece of butter. Make sure it's sealed. Okay, I'm going to open the oven door. I have my drip pan in there. I'm going to put my pies in. And I'm going to set the timer for 1 hour. And check it probably after about a half hour before it'll really would start bubbling over. Very nicely at the same time.